There is no need to respond with evil if you have been hurt. The biggest lesson for your abuser will be your calmness and friendliness. An unusual story happened to a girl named Victoria. She did not differ from many of her classmates, and she was brought up in an ordinary and modest family. During her studies at school, Victoria's parents changed their place of living several times and moved from city to city. The girl changed so many schools that she did not have time to make friends anywhere. At first, she was bothered, but then she just got used to it. In the new school, she was either not noticed or her classmates made fun of her, but the difficulties did not upset Victoria, but on the contrary, only made her stronger. The girl studied diligently and helped her parents about the house, and Victoria did not pay attention to the ridicule of teenagers as her mother taught her. Being a senior, Victoria studied at a grammar school. The other students were from rich families. Their parents bought them fashionable gadgets, and everyone who came to school with new toys immediately gained popularity with the others. Victoria could not boast of anything like that. And yes, among the other girls, she was different because she wore simple and modest clothes. Of course, she was upset. One morning, she came to school early. There was no one else in the classroom, but her classmates were talking in the hall. The girls surrounded Beatrice, the beauty of their school. She proudly showed them something. Victoria was very curious about what her classmates were looking at so enthusiastically, but she was too afraid to approach. Indeed, sometimes Beatrice offended Victoria and insultingly joked at her. The queen of the class laughed at the girl's surname and more often at her unfashionable clothes, which looked rather shabby. The girl would wear the same blouse over and over again because her parents had no money at all. "God, what gorgeous shoes!" Beatrice's friend Marina exclaimed. She always praised her and admired anything in the hands of the recognized beauty. The girls moved a little away from Beatrice, and Victoria managed to see her luxurious shoes with elegant low heels. The shoes looked great, and the girl in these shoes looked much more mature than her classmates. The girls chirped together, admiring the new shoes. Victoria fully shared the enthusiasm of her classmates. The shoes looked incredible. Then the girl looked down at her old, worn-out, shabby boots. The girl's shoulders sank from resentment. Raising her head again, Victoria moved on from her sad thoughts and went to her desk, near which the girls were just crowding. Everyone stepped away so that Victoria was able to sit down in her place, and Beatrice gave a contemptuous glance at her. The girl started grimacing and portraying the host of a fashion show. "Attention! On the stage, you see a fashion collection of the famous brand Poor Thing. I would like to see what you would wear at the prom." The girls laughed out loud, and Victoria made her way to her desk, blushing, answering quietly, "Leave me alone." Beatrice continued. She did not leave the girl, and she enthusiastically told her joke to everyone who entered the classroom. Everyone laughed. The bullying stopped only when the bell rang. For Victoria, that day seemed to last forever. Beatrice's mockery rang in her ears. Only after crossing the threshold of her house, the girl gave way to her feelings. Her mother was in the kitchen and heard her daughter crying and went up to her. She hugged the girl dearly and gently stroked her head, and Victoria told her mother everything and sobbed like a small child, putting her face in her mother's chest. Both were sad. After all, graduation was approaching, and they had no money at all for an outfit for Victoria. One day, the mother told the girl not to worry and assured her that there was definitely a way out. It turned out that the mother's colleague's daughter graduated from school last year, and she offered Victoria her dress, which she wore only for one evening. The girl terribly did not want to go to such an important event in someone else's outfit, but she simply had no other choice. So she had to agree and went for a fitting. Seeing in the mirror her reflection in a lovely soft blue dress, Victoria forgot about all of her doubts and worries. This dress was so pretty, and she loved it. The girl looked adorable. She looked at herself for a long time, enjoying her beautiful clothes and imagining how Beatrice would be discouraged when she saw her lovely outfit. And then the magical day came. When Victoria entered the school hall, everyone just gasped. No one recognized the same Poor Thing in this slender beauty. The girls began to whisper, discussing something and looking at Victoria, and Beatrice arrogantly looked at her with a contemptuous glance and quickly turned away. The music started playing, and then something incredible happened. Michael, the most popular boy in their group, a good-looking man who won the hearts of all the girls and even Beatrice's heart, approached Victoria. Victoria also liked Michael, so she excitedly gave him her hand. The music played, and Victoria danced with this nice guy and was happy. It seemed to her that she was in a wonderful fairy tale, and the girl did not want to return to reality. But the music stopped. The girl blinked her eyes and made sure that it was not a dream. Then Victoria saw that Beatrice was quickly coming towards them. The queen of the school was not ready to put up with the fact that Michael invited not her to dance, but some poor thing. Waiting for everyone to pay attention to her, Beatrice loudly and expressively declared that Victoria looked gorgeous in someone else's rags. Victoria wanted to disappear. She was speechless, and the fairy tale seemed to melt away, turning into a bitter fog. The usual feelings returned to Victoria again, that she was a poor thing among the other girls in the group. Victoria's lovely blue dress no longer seemed a stunning outfit. She was tormented by the thought of how Beatrice found out that the girl was wearing someone else's dress. But now that was not important anymore. Victoria stood still for a while and then lowered her head and quickly went towards the exit. On the street, the girl burst into tears and rushed home as fast as she could. Falling on her bed, Victoria cried inconsolably until the morning. She did not understand why she should live in the world if no one needed her at all. But it is not for nothing that they say that time cures all, and this happened with Victoria. She graduated from a good university, got a job in a prestigious company, and quickly made a great career. And one day, she took the position of the director of the company. One day, her colleague Rowan approached the girl. "Victoria, can you come to my interview? A girl's coming. She wants to get the position of a project manager. She has little experience, but she looks ambitious and nice. Maybe you can come see if she'll be able to cope with the project?" "Okay, I'll be there in 5 minutes," the girl answered. She went into her office, checked her hair, gave instructions to the clerk, and went to Rowan's office. Coming closer, she stopped. Through the slightly open door, Victoria saw that there was already someone in the office. The unknown girl excitedly walked around the room and talked quietly on the phone. "Yes, I understand everything," she whispered into the receiver. "This is a very rare chance. I will try to impress them. Where else can I find such a job?" Victoria could not see the girl's face behind the doors, but she would always recognize that voice. It was Beatrice, who bullied Victoria at school. "Oh, what fate!" Victoria was amazed. "My turn has come." Meanwhile, Rowan approached the office. "Hello," he turned to Beatrice, and letting Victoria come forward, went inside. Victoria silently walked to the end of the hall. She did not even look at Beatrice, who quickly hid her phone in her purse. Victoria acted as if she was seeing her for the first time in her life. Beatrice immediately recognized that poor thing, as she called her several years ago, and blinked in confusion, not knowing how to behave in this situation. Rowan conducted the interview, but Victoria did not hear anything at all. School memories came back to her, how cruel Beatrice treated her and how insulting and painful it was. How she cried at night, presenting moments of revenge to everyone who laughed at her, and especially Beatrice, who ruined such an important day for her. More than once, Victoria imagined how she would achieve success and recognition and how one day she would treat her arrogant and cruel classmate who caused her so much pain the way she deserved. And now, something strange was happening. The one whom she hated with all her soul timidly sat in front of her, crumpled a piece of paper in her hand, and looked completely lost. She was babbling something irrelevant to Rowan while looking nervously at Victoria. And suddenly, for a second, it seemed to Victoria that it was she herself in front of her, the unfortunate schoolgirl, sitting in Beatrice's place. She looked so bewildered and defenseless, blinked often, and was about to cry. It was clear that Beatrice really needed this job, but she looked at Victoria and understood that they would definitely not hire her. Victoria looked at the agitated girl for a long time and finally approached them. Then something incredible happened. She no longer felt childish resentment. "I think she's perfect for the job," she said to Rowan. "Congratulations, you are hired." She held out her hand to the shocked Beatrice and walked away. Anyone can make a mistake. Anyone can stumble, say something rashly, do something without thinking, offending without understanding. And even though not everything can be forgiven, sometimes a person just needs to be given a chance, because sometimes it is just a small chance that can change a whole life. That is all. Share this video with your friends and like it. Bye!